Lorraine, and we're going to start on our January cards, and let's get started. I hope you had a great holiday and you're having a happy new year already. So here's our first card. Let's get started. Okay. This card is a case of a card done by Melanie Baker. And this is hers, and you can see I didn't change anything really. Here's hers, here's mine. It's, you know, sometimes you just can't improve on perfect. Alright, so we're going to need several materials to make this card. You'll need some Daffodil Delight, cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and that will be the fold will be your left side of your card. Okay. Then you're going to need a card front that's cut 4 inches by 5 1/4, and on hers, and I did it on mine, but I didn't do a very good job, is you can use a paper piercing tool to pierce out, get that on there, pierce out holes all the way around. I'm calling that an optional step because I know mine didn't turn out so good. So let that be an optional step for you as well. So you'll need that piece of Whisper White. And you're going to need the stamp set that's called Wordplay. And we're using this particular stamp that says go confidently in the direction of your dreams. And you're going to stamp that stamp, whoops, just dropped a stamp, that's alright, on the lower right hand side of your card front in basic black ink. You're going to need a scrap of Poppy Parade, and you're going to need a is this the 1 3? Yeah, 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and you're going to punch out a circle in the Poppy Parade. You're going to need a piece of designer series paper that's patterned in a small pattern, and you're going to need a, in this case I used a die, maybe you have a circle cutting or something. Anyway, what you want to achieve is a 1 1/2 inch circle, and this is the Sizzix Circles number 2. And I've marked on the end the different size circles that are on this die. There's a 1 inch, a 1 1/2, a 2 inch, and a 2 1/2 inch. So we're going to need the 1 1/2 inch size circle, which is right here. Okay, and you run that through your Big Shot machine, and you'll get a 1 1/2 inch circle. Okay, and then you'll of course layer those together. And those are going to be the hot air balloon, the balloon part. Okay, you're also going to need a piece of Baja Breeze that's cut about 2 1/2 inch square. I believe that's what it is. Yes, 2 1/2 inch square. And you're going to run that through the Big Shot machine using the Darling Dots Embossing Folder. And you will transform it from plain to textured. And then you're going to use your 1/4 rounder if you so desire. This is not a necessary step either, but you're going to, it's best if you turn it over, at least the old style one anyway, and trim off opposing corners. So you have 2 rounded and 2 squared corners. Okay. Then you're going to take Baja Breeze ink and a sponge wedge, and you're going to sponge all the way around all the sides. I'm not actually doing it here, you can see, but that'll give you a little more dimension here. It won't be quite as flat looking. Okay. Then you're going to need some scraps of black, and this one you're going to use to make the basket for the balloon. You're going to use this part of the cupcake punch, and you'll run it through, punch out the little, let me go ahead and do that, run it through, punch out, and you have your little basket, and you want to crimp it to give it a little more texture. And to do that, because this is such a small piece and the crimper is such a big monster, the best way is to take a Post-it note. You can tell this one's been through the crimper a few times, and on the adhesive part of the Post-it note, just attach your basket. If you're doing several of these cards, you could line up a whole bunch of baskets, and then feed that into your crimper. Well, there we go. I got it in there. And then turn the handle, and it'll feed your little guy in there and through. Okay? Easy way to feed through small objects through your crimper. So then you have a nice little crimped basket. Alright, set that aside with your balloon. Then you're going to need some scraps of Whisper White, and you're going to use the cupcake punch again to take this shape, the top of the cupcake, to punch out 3 tops. And when you get 3 of them, you're going to take your sponge again, and you're going to sponge all around all 3 of them to make your clouds. Let's look at that. See if I got the blue edges. That makes them look more cloud-like. Okay. And then you're going to need also a scrap of the Daffodil Delight, and you're going to use a small heart punch. The small heart I'm using on this, the triple heart, the small heart here, and you'll punch out 1 little heart. And that little heart allows you to use clear buttons. And in the clear buttons there are 3 shapes. There's circle, there's a actually 4 shapes, a flower, 2 flower kind of shapes, and then there's a little heart. And the one we're going to use on this card is the little heart, the little clear heart. And you're going to use a mini glue dot to put those together to create an adornment. And mini glue dots come in a box like that, and they're on a roll, and they're just the fastest way to glue something down. No waiting for glue to dry. Okay, so I'll set that aside. Okay. And then on another scrap of white, you're going to stamp the go in the direction of your dreams again, but this time you're going to do it in the Poppy Parade ink, so that you get one little arrow. The arrow is your focus. You're going to cut that out by hand, and you're going to lift it with dimensionals over the top of the black arrow that's on the one you stamped on the cover. Then you're ready to assemble everything. So you're going to add the blue sky piece first to the upper left hand corner. You'll leave about 3/8 inch around the border, and then you're going to was easier for me to go ahead and do this to attach them. So attach your balloon pieces to some snail, just snail those together. And then if you take your clouds and attach them to your balloon before mounting, so if you put one off to the right and one a little higher to the left, and then one in front with a dimensional. This one will go on with a dimensional to lift it. Then you can go ahead, no, don't attach it yet, because you need the linen thread. So you want 2 3-inch pieces of linen thread that you're going to fold in half to make the ropes for the basket and the balloon. And you're going to, on the back of here, put some snail on the back of your balloon, put some snail, and attach the folded ends of those 3-inch pieces of linen thread. And then on the back of your basket, you're also going to put some snail and attach the loose ends. Then you can go ahead and attach the balloon and clouds to the background, the sky piece, and then attach your basket with a dimensional that pops it up off the surface. And then lastly, 2 other things. You add your little heart that has the yellow background, and you can just add that with a glue dot. And then this is another optional, this little bow. This is just about a 5-inch piece of the linen thread that's tied into a bow and trimmed. So that's an optional piece, and where you want to place it is also optional. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed making that card as much as I did.